Good day, everybody. Well, I won't be taking much time because I just have one slide. So, the thing is, what I wanted to talk about is what we've been doing all this time, and what procedure we followed in the OSGD Chem Informatics. Well, to start with, we followed a virtual screening paper by Amanda C. So, the first thing, everything was provided to us. We had the data sets which were divided into training and testing, and we knew that what algorithms, what classifiers they took, what was the parameters they took to classify certain compounds in those particular data sets into active and inactive. But this was the training set. When we started, the first job was to use PowerMV. It's a descriptor calculation tool. We had no idea what descriptors were. But as of now, we know a clear, basic understanding of what descriptors are. The second was data mining. We knew what data mining was, but we didn't know actually how to use that data mining in an intelligent way. So we used Weka. It's a data mining tool for the same purpose. So everybody here in the group and all over the OSGD community, we practice this particular task to get us familiar with the OSGD Chem Informatics workflow. So now this is our testing phase. We were divided into 5 groups initially. We are now 6 or 7. Some new groups have joined. So each of the groups have been assigned one particular data set. So these data sets, we want to divide those data sets, the compounds in the data sets, into active and inactive using the data mining tools. So the first step in this particular process is to access those data sets. So we all know that the basic chemical database that we're using is PubChem. PubChem is a repository, and it has 3 basic sub-databases. PubChem substance, PubChem compound, and PubChem bioassay. The PubChem substance, as of today, in the morning I checked, it has around 4 million substances in its database. And these include chemical and natural products as well. PubChem compound is a subset of substance. It has only the chemical compounds which are synthesized. And the PubChem bioassay is the experimental assays and the compounds derived from those in vitro studies. So once we have those particular data sets, what you do with this? So the PubChem has the bioactivity of all the compounds in those data sets. So what we do is, we download the SDF file, the standard data format file, and the bioassay result is a different table altogether. It has the ID, the rank, and the outcome. The outcome is the binary, active or inactive, 0 and 1. So what we did next was upload the file, the PowerMV. It's a descriptor calculation tool which would be described by Vinitha altogether. So there's a problem format file which can be loaded into further data mining purpose. This is I've already told you. Yeah, one important thing. So we have the descriptor file with us, the compounds and the number of attributes with it. So, but Weka, for training one particular algorithm, we need to have a particular class. So that particular class is the active and inactive, which we've actually downloaded from the bioassay result. So just a simple cut and paste, what we did, we cut the bioassay outcome result for the corresponding compounds and just appended in the descriptor file. That's it. And So we have that particular, we convert the CSV into the ARFF format. It's a format which Weka takes into the data mining software. And we remove the useless attributes. What could be the useless attributes? The descriptors, like if I have 1,000 compounds and the same descriptor is present in each of the compound, is it useful for me? Is it useful? It's not. It won't give me anything. And for those 1,000 compounds, if the particular descriptor is not present for any of those 1,000, it won't be useful again. So, to remove the useful attributes, there's a command in Weka. You remove those particular descriptors. Yeah. We have different assays for different data sets. So it could, like for the data sets, we have cytochrome P450. So there is a particular bioassay, and on the basis of that particular bioassay, they've said that this particular compound is active or inactive. Sorry? Yeah, this particular is for toxicity. Yes, ours is for toxicity. Sorry?
Are you found any correlation for the active compound with active? Are you regenerated this data? It was provided by PUB. Are you found any correlation between the activity and the structures through your experiments?
Correlation of what? I mean, what you're asking is
structure from document. The activity is also reported.
We didn't download the structures. It's a high throughput screen.
By using your experiment, you found any similarity? These results are okay. There's some similarity between structures and activity. Are you found?
No, I don't. There's a
and you do some you do some descriptors and modeling. Finally, are you correlated this data with the activity? Any link between them?
We have generated some
this will be judged in terms of accuracy.
Okay.
This will be termed in terms of accuracy. We will measure TP rate, FP rate, and after saying that accuracy is 80%, then we can correlate it that our classifier is working better.
Okay. What I want to know, your classifier is suited with this previous standardized system?
Sorry, sir?
Previously standardized system, because these compounds are well dated and tested everything.
Yeah.
You are applying your method to test. That is called as revalidation. Suppose say one molecule is highly active.
So the thing is that we are training the classifier to learn from that data set what descriptors are making a compound active and what descriptors are making a compound inactive. The model will be trained.